Hello? Hello?
This thing turned on?
Is this thing turned on? Are you in there? Are you around here? Are you around us? Are you near us? Hello?
Hello.
What is up, my friends? What is up, my friends? Hi, Todd.
Hi, Kira.
How you doing today?
Well, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Self-care.
Self-care. It's a little self-care day.
Lemon and cayenne pepper and apple cider vinegar.
Any honey? No honey? Okay.
No.
A little self-care today.
I'll do the honey one later in my hot toddy, minus the whiskey.
Minus the whiskey. Say hello to us. Say hello to us. So, I did put something up there. It was, I think I said something like, what takes us out, what puts us in. And honey and incense and teddy bears. That's right, Kenny. You know how to self-care. Excuse me.
Maybe we should use the white.
You wanna keep showing them our behind the scenes there?
I was gonna say maybe we should use the lighter background since most of our clothes are dark.
It doesn't matter. All right, so not while we're live.
No.
You want to be? I can get up on this thing. I'll stand up on the chair and pull everything down.
That would get some viewership.
You just see my booty.
Nice leggings.
Nice leggings. Business on top.
Party on the bottom.
Sleep on the bottom. That's how I roll.
Yeah.
Seems right. So, okay. So I said, and we were all talking about alignment. So I was just going to kind of talk about alignment today. So what takes us into alignment? What pulls us out of alignment? You know, just something I thought about because I've been feeling very much in alignment lately, and it's been feeling very nice to just feel a little bit of relief, a little bit of peace. I stay humble by the fact that I still do have reactions to things. I do feel things that are uncomfortable and come up for healing and come up for kind of reconnecting back to myself and saying, okay, well, what matters, what's important. And then, you know, doing some things that are really basic, but I didn't think they were having any kind of effect on me. So I took I'm going to call it a dummy device because it can dumb me down pretty quickly.
Cell phone?
My cell phone. And I turned off all of my notifications for my everything, for texts or for everything, for Facebook, for emails, I just turned it all off because I like to play games on my phone. So I was trying to relax and trying to distract and trying to get into my alignment. And I would feel so pulled. I better check my email or I better check this thing or that thing. And being pulled out of the alignment because I was getting notified and dinged all the time. That is an appropriate word for what that is, getting dinged. That I decided to just turn it all off and without turning my phone off. So it's actually been really nice. And the only drawback is my girlfriend texted me and I didn't know she texted me. And then I as soon as I saw it, I responded to her and I said, and she was like, oh, I thought there was something wrong because you didn't respond to me right away. And I was like, no, I just turned off my notifications. So anytime you can turn off notifications, I think is very helpful. Finding ways to bring yourself back into alignment. Hi, Eileen. Hello, you too, she says.
You're cultivating presence.
Yeah.
Because you're pausing the things that pull you out of the present, that draw you back into other things.
Mm-hmm. Things that draw me into
past,
the
future,
world.
Behaviors, world, time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any issues with kind of creating your own self boundaries around your own time, your own energy, or bringing yourself into alignment. Have you ever had any kind of issues? And do you know what alignment is? And what is alignment for you? Is it something that you enjoy externally? Is it a feeling that you know internally? I think everybody's different in a way.
Yeah. Is it a feeling? Is alignment a feeling for you? Is alignment something you do? Is alignment something you eat? Is alignment something you drink? Yeah, I think it's a lot of times I think it's a feeling ultimately, It's not an emotion, but because an emotion is a disturbance of sorts. It's a feeling, like an allowing. It's something you receive.
Yeah. I like that. Todd said this to me when we were going up on stage for CYL, and he said, just let the energy come to you. Let it flow to you. Get clear, get into alignment, and let it come to you. And what I liked about that, the many things that I liked about that, is it's so simple. It's just allowing. And the only thing that was blocking was like, nervousness or fear or concern, or am I going to say this right or do this right or whatever. And that's something that'll pull us out of alignment. Whereas I already know the stuff. You already know the stuff. You have the skill. You know the thing. And anything that's blocking you there is or blocking me, or if you've had the same experience, is any of the fears or doubts or whatever that might come up. But if you allow yourself to take that, put it to the side, and say, I'm just going to allow it to come to me and through me, then it's first, it's a mental approach. It's a mental, I'm going to take what this is right in front of me. I'm going to put it to the side, and I'm just going to allow those things. So first it's a mental process, and then eventually it gets to be a feeling process, and then a knowing process. So, if there is something that you feel like has been blocking you, literally take it with your hands, whatever that block is, put it to the side. This is a spatial awareness. Let's just put it to the side, and let's see how we really feel about those things. So good. Let's see. Eileen says, all of it, chiropractor alignment for the spine can translate into energy. That's really true. Yeah.
Are we farther away today? With the
I think
computer?
we are, but I was able to get all of our.
I feel like we're farther away from the computer.
I think you're right. We are.
I think it's a better framing, actually.
It is a better framing.
I just have to lean in to read what people are saying.
How did we do that? That's amazing.
Because
usually I pull.
Well, this is usually pulled out.
I know.
Like about this much more, I believe. Yeah.
Well, let's troubleshoot that while we talk.
Yeah, we can troubleshoot that. Perfect. Yeah, sure. So the framing looks nice. Yeah.
All right. So Eileen says, allowing myself to rest outside. Just saw a butterfly, which is a sign for my mama alignment. That's right. Butterfly in the sky. I can fly twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow. I can do anything. Friends to know, ways to grow. A reading rainbow. A reading rainbow. Girl, I know that song. I was raised on that song. She has is that a smiley face or a I don't know what kind of face that is. It's kind of a
I can't, it's too small to see.
Too small. Anyway.
I think it's a smiley face.
Yeah. Here's another, and it relates to alignment. Oh, 3, 2, 1 contact. Yes, Kenny. Oh, pulling up the deep cuts. Oh, what are we doing here? Laughter for me is alignment. If I'm laughing, I'm usually in alignment, or I'm really nervous.
Laughter, yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I used to get in trouble. Well, I didn't get in trouble, but I used to get bullied a little bit when I was a kid because I would laugh too much. And the other kids thought I was stupid for laughing. Oh, well, it didn't stop. It didn't change anything. It didn't make it, I just kept laughing, because sometimes that's the best kind of alignment we can have, is whatever feels good to us and whatever brings us into our own harmony and our own balance and our own truth and our own way. Yeah. So whatever that is for you is perfect. Honey, what else do you want to talk about?
See what I wrote down.
Okay. I'm going to do a quick little lesson here. Let's just pick one randomly. Yeah, I don't want them. Oh, God, that is so... Some of these are so hard. This is from A Course in Miracles. They're so loaded, because it's like, oh God, I would have to explain this for, an hour. Did you find something?
No. There's also a Way of Mastery. We talked about that.
Yeah, I don't have that book available to me right now.
Marianne says, draw a card.
Oh, draw a card. Sure. Hi, Marianne. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's do our instant happiness cards. Draw a card.
Hi.
Hi.
Emotions are amplifiers.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'll let you read it.
Okay. Emotion is the driving force that increases what you focus on. If you want to turn a small debt into a large one, you can't just look at your credit card bills. You need to worry about them too. Fortunately, you can use this process to help you amplify nice things. Form a mental image of what you wish to increase: money, wealth, fun, happiness, and feel a positive emotion. Feel how you'll feel when you've got what you want, and that's what you'll amplify. One of the ways you can do this is to vividly imagine living the life you desire. See what you'll see, hear what you'll hear, and feel how you feel when you've got what you want. A lot of these cards are very similar in, creating attraction-based experience, where you are actually formulating your ability, or increasing your ability to focus on things that you want instead of things that you don't want.
Yeah, that's a prerequisite to having what you want is focusing your attention. And Abraham Hicks says, you feel the way you want to feel when you'll arrive there. And if you can generate those feelings now, then that is your point of attraction to bringing more of those things in. So it is highly, highly in our best interest to spend as much time as we can authentically feeling the way we want to feel, as opposed to buying into the lie that we have to go do something in order to feel the way that we want to feel, especially if that doing something is not fun. It's like the no pain, no gain. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, well, if I experience a lot of pain, then maybe the end game will be worth it, kind of thing. And I don't know if that really is a great recipe for happiness. I mean, it can work, I mean, sometimes it can work, but I think a more flowing type of approach, a more of an allowing type of approach is, finding the journey that feels good. And then you're never resentful about whether or not you make it to the destination, because you're enjoying the journey, mm-hmm. and I think, I mean, if you're enjoying the journey, then the destination is the journey. It's like a point. Every now moment is the destination. So if you're constantly in a place of enjoyment, because you generally like what you're doing, be it work or play or whatever, then I think it kind of is a self-guiding thing, like
mm-hmm.
you wherever you go. I mean, it may not be premeditated necessarily, or there might be a general concept of where you might want to go, but there's not a this clinging and controlling and managed misery kind of thing of I have to get there or I will die kind of thing, which is certainly more when the ego is kind of in control of the goal. And when we make it real and we live or die by our hitting that goal. And I know I've been there, but the more I pull off of those types of things and not make it so that the end goal justifies my current misery, that I'm like we're kind of done with, I know, especially with business. And it's very much about enjoying what you're doing as you're getting there. And then if you're not having to manage and control, if you're just enjoying what you're doing on the way to wherever you're going. And the best part is that wherever you're headed doesn't need to be controlled. I mean, I think it ends up being a more beautiful place to arrive at when you can trust that it's going to be just right for you. When you can trust that, your I am, your source is guiding you to the absolute perfect place for you at any given time as a destination, so long as we are getting out of our own way and allowing it. So that's how I kind of interpret the law of attraction kind of thing.
Yeah. Hi, Gigi. Hi, Gigi. Her book is on sale right now on Amazon. Kindle, free download, just so you know.
Congratulations, Gigi. We're very happy for you.
Woohoo!
We are very happy. We are very proud.
Very proud.
And we are so thankful that you have been such an amazing, loyal supporter. And,
unbelievable.
And writer and author
and new student.
And a new student. Gail Gigi is a hypnosis student.
Yep. So yeah, we're so grateful for you, Gigi. You keep us going. A lot of times whenever we think about you, we always have good feelings and good thoughts.
Always good feelings because she is consistent.
She is wonderful. Wonderful.
She is loyal and she is always there. And it's like a warm blanket whenever Gigi's around.
That's right.
Like, aww, only good feelings.
Yes, only good feelings. Only the good notes. The destination is the journey. Todd just accidentally stumbled on into an eternal truth. Wow, wiki what? You totally did.
Well, if you make your destination the journey, then I think it's a lot more fun to live.
Well, it's
but we have
fascinating.
To pull off a lot of behaviors.
It's like having a goal in mind. But then my problem in the beginning of my life was I would reach my goal of things. And then I would be like, okay, well, then I'll set an astronomical goal and never be able to achieve it. And it was just trying to find that balance. And then after a while, I was like, I don't need a goal. I don't need a goal. Yeah. I just want to live day to day. But I needed to go through all those stages first beforehand to go, oh, I don't need that. But I still needed all the things to happen previously.
Well,
so I would know.
I think it's also part of it is also just pure psychology, because if you condition yourself to believing that I have to really gruelingly effort my way to a goal that I think I want, well, certainly the ego is in control.
Oh yeah.
And then when you arrive there, you hear a lot of times that the goal isn't very fulfilling when people take that type of approach. And I've had that experience too. It's like, well, this is kind of anticlimactic. Because the whole time, I might have reached the goal, and maybe there was a glimmer of, feeling good about it, but the ego doesn't want you to feel good for long. It just wants to give you.
No, then you got to do the next thing.
Wants to give you a niblet, right? And it doesn't. It's not everlasting. It's just fleeting. That's just the ego.
Nature.
But the whole time you're cultivating that carrot in front of you, kind of thing, with the ego. You're cultivating the psychology and the patterns and the physiology that is not producing positivity, you know. So then it's because it's grueling to get there. But then when you get there, and then when you get there, some
it
people
always
are
falls flat.
some people are disillusioned as to why it doesn't feel all that great. Well, you've been sowing and reaping, working your ass off, and being miserable the entire time.
Yeah.
So you might have the whatever, the $1 million or whatever, but
no family, no friends, and a heart condition.
right. So
like,
I mean,
okay,
I guess the point
let's find the balance.
and there's no judgment there. It's just we're constantly sowing and reaping. We're constantly sowing and reaping, and the end never justifies the means. And our mind, body, and emotions, literally our mind, our body, and our emotions. If we are sowing discord on the way to something that our ego tells us is going to make us happy, when we're already not believing in our happiness because we're sacrificing it on the way to our goal. Where the hell did that come from? Holy crap. I got to write that down. Or just listen to what the hell comes out. Thank you, Holy Spirit. We did surrender this session to the Holy Spirit's guidance and allow him to use our words. So, and like you were saying early at the beginning, this talk, and when we were talking about you getting on stage and such, you know, it's just, you know, the material is what I told Kira, and you know the material and just find the flow. And everybody knows what your flow is, right? Kenny gets in the flow with his piano stuff, and it just comes out like butter, you know. Just you get in, you know, it could be artwork, it could be talking and teaching and things, or coaching, or writing, or whatever. You know the flow when you're in it. It feels like you're in just a river, and it's just kind of carrying you along.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're in that flow, then you really are allowing, and just things just come together. They just come together, and I think that's a wonderful thing to shoot for, as a way of getting to any kind of goal. Is how can I find an enjoyment in what I'm doing? Where's the flow? And am I forcing myself to try to make this thing the flow? Is that pulling me out of alignment? Or am I relaxing into it? So you might find that you're guided into something else other than what you planned for the moment or the day. That's okay. That's your guidance telling you that I need to chill out, not force myself, not control, but go with the flow of what's coming up. And other times it's going to be exactly what you know you need to get done or what have you, and you can relax into the flow, and then it just happens. So when you relaxed into your flow, because you know we don't want to alarm the ego to say, okay, this is really important and I got to get really mental and control and make sure I hit all these points and say all these things, you know, and that can work if you don't drive yourself crazy. And Lord knows I've done that a lot of my life, but it's not about controlling and analyzing everything and making sure it's perfect. That's the ego managing everything, but rather, you know, do your studying, do your remembering and teaching of yourself and kind of thing, know the material, and then have maybe a loose theme or outline, but let the flow carry you. Aim for the flow, not for the details. Because the flow is your higher self. The flow is your source, your I am, the Holy Spirit, you know, especially when you ask that part of you to come in, and that your mastership to come in and guide you. And then you know it, because when you're in it, you feel it, you know, you just like, wow, I totally just nailed that. And I just allowed it to just flow right through me. And a lot of times it turns out better than you could have ever imagined.
Oh yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah. Allowing the flow.
Eileen says, downloaded Gigi's book. Congrats. Yay. Thank you, Eileen. So that is that's perfect. That exemplifies all of what it really takes to be in alignment. Really is just allowing that thing. You know, there's so many times when we have things that come up that pull us out of alignment, death of a loved one, friend, a pet, or, loss of a job, or some just overall fears that come up, or anxiety is about the future, money, abundance, being able to take care of a elderly parent, or for our younger generations, what am I going to do for a career, and when I get out of school, or high school, or college, or what have you, and what are my next steps. And when we take that next step in alignment, no matter what the outcome is, even if it doesn't seem good at the time, or even if it doesn't seem right at the time, if we're taking the next best step in front of us, whatever that is, it's right. It's right. So I'm gonna give you permission right now to let yourself off the hook. If you are needing anything right now, that is whatever it is, that it is okay to take whatever that next best step is. It might not be the best step that everyone would take, but it's the best step for you right now. And so let yourself have that. And I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Just let yourself have that next step. Yeah.
Despite our opinions and beliefs, which come from our egos, we can remember. All we have to do is remember that where you are is perfect right now, right? If we get their opinions out of it, there's nothing wrong with the moment. Just allowing it to be perfect, and trusting that everything that has ever happened has been ultimately for your highest good, and everything that is happening is also for your highest good, everything that will happen, So personally, coming from someone like me who has spent a lot of time fearing and controlling, among other positive things, I've learned that sometimes easily and sometimes not so easily, that giving up the control and following the flow is just a way easier way of living, and achieving and allowing. And it's, everything is okay. Everything is okay, and everything works out, especially when we don't fight it. So I think it's just a matter of, like all the other things we've said, the present moment, the presence process, the pulling off of those behaviors and things like that, stalking your ego, and when it's trying to do something, and pulling off as best as possible, so that what naturally fills in as a result of edging ego out is your natural I am, your natural presence just fills in, and that feels peaceful, and that feels easy. And the more peaceful you feel, and the more joyful you feel, the less you feel like you have to go out and do things, right? Because that's just an ego seduction coming in and saying, hey, you need to have something outside of you in order to be happy and peaceful. And that's ego seduction. That's it. Saying that it's not already there, but it is already there. And all we have to do is realize our perfection already happening in this very moment. And it's happening when you start to feel more relaxed. You start to feel more peaceful. And you it when you really listen to Abraham Hicks, or maybe this video, or other things that feel positive and good. It helps to relax you. And it because you start pulling off of anything that was creating discomfort when you make the choice, a new choice, to redirect yourself into something that feels better and allows that presence, that alignment.
Yeah, very, very true. So Gigi is saying, my future is happening now. Good. Getting some stuff tossed and taking over my daughter's little room for my practice space. Yay. Awesome. Kim is here. Hi there, Kim. Sorry I'm late. Patricia, nice to see you out here. And Kim says, nice. Thanks for the message. Awesome. Yeah. there's a lot to this in very, very good ways. Yeah. Yeah. We do not have to be the doers. We can be the beers. And also too, I personally like taking action on things. You know, it's fun to take action for me when I feel that draw. And at first I didn't think that I believed that, you know, I didn't believe that, you know, I would, to me at first it felt like an excuse, or, you know, I'm not pushing through something, or I'm not, you know, doing what I'm supposed to do, or whatever game the ego wanted to play with me on that. But what I found was that things became so much easier when I just let go. And so Maya and I were actually having a conversation about that, about how our men have a lovely way of allowing things to come to them. Different opportunities, different insights, different awarenesses, and she and I just kind of are like, but I got to go do this thing, you know, make this thing happen. I've got to put this thing together. And I think we both agreed that ultimately the best way to manage it and handle it is to simply allow the thing to come to us. It's one of those things, and I think this might be an INFJ thing. I don't know if it is or not, but and I think this might be a pitfall for a lot of people out there who own their own business, is that they'll come up with a product, and because you know it well, and then you assume everybody else will want it, because it's like, well, but I know it well, and I can perform it, I can do it, I can say it, I can teach it, I can bring it out there, and people may not want that thing. That's why we have things like market research first, right? We find out if people want the thing. And then there are other times where it's completely spirit-led, and you're like, I'm going to bring this thing out because it's in my heart to come out, and then let's get some proper marketing around it. So it's like, which way is best? I don't know. But I think it's faster when you do the market research and find out what people want, and then it fills in a little bit quicker. But when you do something based off of your feelings driven piece, it might take longer, but I think that there are a lot of rewards in that too.
It's more organic.
Yeah.
And it's about having realistic expectations partly. Because a lot of times when people go into business and such, they want to, they expect it to work, and it doesn't. It's because they're wanting to feel a certain way, and they associate success with feeling that way. And then it doesn't happen the way that they think, and then they wonder why is that? What am I missing? Kind of thing. But at any rate, and there's a learning curve to that. But more so to your point, yes, it's not about the what, it's the how. You know. So I mean, you could have one goal. You can have the same goal of like starting a business and have it be completely, you know, controlled and worried and fear based, and letting the ego kind of run its course to get to that point A to point B. Or you could have the same goal and only allow it to be spirit led. And that means not needing anything in particular to be happening. It means pulling off of the needing. You know, if you're needing something to happen, then you're controlling something. And then you might get to the goal, the external goal, but external goals are kind of pointless, especially if they're not serving you, or if they're serving you, or if they're causing you to just experience what you're not wanting to feel and do. So I think how we walk towards anything, I mean, it's really important for that to be a non-miserable experience, especially this day and age. You know, like, let it be a step in alignment. You know, Abraham talks about this all the time, you know, just find out what does feel good, you know, and pull off of the needing and the controlling, and allow yourself to be spirit-led towards whatever you're going to be. The component of differentiation is trust. You know, if you don't have trust, you're going to be controlling things, even if you call them spiritual things. If you do cultivate trust, you're going to be able to pull off the needing and the controlling more. Still could have the same goals, but it's going to be a different experience, a different journey, and maybe different end results, and maybe better than you could have controlled and planned for.
Yeah. Yeah. So take off the wheels, the training wheels, and just let yourself fly down the hill. Oh my gosh. I saw this now that I'm thinking about it. We were driving back from I don't know where we were, grocery store or something. And and I saw this kid on a long skateboard, and he had his whole body on this like skateboard about and his whole body, he had his arms around his knees, and he was just letting the slope of the hill, which was very gradual, just carry him down on his skateboard. And he was just had his knees up, and he was just looking around. And I was like, that's amazing. And I mean, I could pull that into different understandings, because it's just allowing. He saw a potential, and he utilized it. Yeah, he was on the sidewalk, and he utilizes the potential of that slow, gradual.
Trusted the flow.
He trusted the flow. He just was allowing himself to get from point A to point B without interfering. And without
the journey, needing it to be faster.
Lots
of things you could draw from that. He was just leading himself down the sidewalk effortlessly.
Leading himself. So, but I saw that, and it just made me giggle, because I'm like, yeah, that looks great. He didn't have to pay for gas. He didn't have to do anything.
There it is.
Yeah, they're leading. He didn't have to show up in a certain way. He needed a long board with wheels and a gentle slope.
Sounds like a book title. Long board with wheels and a gentle slope. Something. Maybe an album title.
It's so good.
Cover.
Leading.
the longboard sidewalk.
So, where are you? Just putting your knees on your thing, getting on your longboard, and just letting yourself be led. Where is that? Where is that happening for you?
Yeah, and feel free to comment if you want to, and tell us where you are leading yourself into the flow.
Yeah.
I just started the presence process again, and I'm on day 2 of week 1. So I've done 2 breathing sessions, and it was, I can already feel it kicking in, because I've done it, the whole thing 3 times prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
This is my 4th time of the 10 weeks. And it is, I can already feel it kicking in right away, and causing more space between my ego wanting to react versus just being present and watching those reactions instead of projecting them, and just feeling them, breathing through them as needed, and being more responsive. And I can see it in the way that I'm delivering as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday's episode was also pretty
good stuff.
Yeah, today it's more calm. I think yesterday the energy was a lot more exciting, I guess you could say. Yeah, but lots of good stuff flowing through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is good. I rushed back into life after my incident, and now I see that it wasn't quite right. Now things are just happening on their own. Yeah, that was a huge bump and fill, and people who kind of consistently watch these will know what that means. But yeah, that what you went through, Kenny, was major. It was a major thing that might have set your whole life into a new direction in a good way. It doesn't seem good at the time, but things become, I don't know, we come into new awarenesses about ourselves and our feelings, and when we have major things happen like that. So it's, yeah, I could not be more grateful that you're here and that you are allowing things the way that you are. Yeah.
Did my computer freeze?
Are they still talking?
Not needing to talk, I mean, might not be conducive for Facebook Live so much, but the point of allowing silence, especially when it could be not awkward, is just allowing the moment to be as it is too. And if you can sit with someone or yourself, but even with someone else is even more cool in some ways, and be at peace with the silence or the natural pauses. I think that's a real great testimony to allowing presence to fill in without having to need it to be different than it is. If there happens to be a natural pause,
Just trying to think. I feel like I might have fallen asleep on Kenny once. So, and I just went through a whole bunch of things in my head and came to that statement, which doesn't make much sense. But I often say the highest compliment I can give a guest is me taking a nap while they're there. Because I'll just lay down on the couch and be like,
relaxed.
Because I don't feel like I need to take care of them or I need to make myself available or whatever. And if I kind of fall asleep while they're cooking dinner with Todd or doing whatever with Todd, I think it's just, it means that I am at peace with someone that's there and I'm not requiring them to be different. I'm not requiring myself to be different. It's just an easy feeling. Kenny said, I really don't remember. Introverts are leading us down. Marianne, thank you. No, thank you, baby.
Thank you.
I really don't remember introverts. I don't know. I think it was Richard's drive. I think he had come over and we were chatting and I feel like I just fell asleep. I don't think that would be an uncommon thing. But for us, Kenny, because you are a close friend. So, and yeah, silence. Maybe let's take a few breaths while we're being silent.
Sure.
I could go to sleep just sitting right here. I'm feeling kind of complete. How do you feel? Do you want to do more?
So complete.
More? So complete.
Yeah, it's up. Yeah, whichever. Either way, it's funny. It's interesting how we can, like Abraham Hicks says, we can talk ourselves into a direction of peace, and we talk ourselves downstream, right, instead of paddling upstream.
Yep.
And that's why I say positive self-talk is good, and even talking out loud to yourself is good because you are directing yourself down. You're causing your mind to focus in a particular direction, and if you're talking in a direction you're choosing to go in, then you're not thinking in these, allowing the ego to guide your thinking in other directions. So the talking is out loud is good, no matter what judgment you might have about talking out loud to yourself. But I mean, look at what we did today. We allowed and tucked ourselves into a more relaxed place, and that feels better. And notice how when things feel better, the mind quiets down and it reduces or stops producing questions, and needing things to be different because that your spirit is taking over. There's always a balance, and it's dominating. And in that dominating, there isn't needing. There's just feeling at ease, you know?
Yeah.
And that feels pretty good, to be at ease, to feel at ease, and to not feel like I have to go out and do something different, you know? To just be present, relax, take deep breaths, and allow that at easeness to be felt. And it's even more fun when you can do it with other people too, you know, because the dynamic of a group is not always easy to harness, I guess you could say, unless you all have the same intent. But if you are, you know, especially with a smaller group, if you are harmonizing, that feeling, I think, can be amplified in some ways. That feeling of relaxation and presence and allowing. Yeah. It's good.
It's good. It's really good. Kenny says, thank you both for creating the space. It's our pleasure.
Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you, Kenny Cans. We'll talk to you in an hour.
Oh, yeah.
I feel good. I feel good.
So good.
So good. Doing these programs help bring us into alignment. You know? So, and I mean, at first, I felt a lot more stressed, and you probably could notice the difference between our first videos to now, just making sure everything is set up and all those kinds of things. But I still felt like I knew I needed to do it, and I wanted to do it, and with Todd. And
I'm glad you did, because I'm getting a lot out of it, and I think it's very good in more ways than one.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't have anything else to say. Do you have anything else you'd like to convey?
No, I feel relaxed, and I'm ready to move on to the next thing. The next day,
the next part of the day, segment intending. So the next intention that we have for our day is that it continue to be easy, in the flow, peaceful, and loving. Yeah. And we hope the same is for you as well.
Absolutely.
Right. We'll talk to you later.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.